Check. Okay.
From Jefferson High School. The theme of PIL athletics is to maintain and improve high standards of conduct, competition, and friendly relations with all schools. All spectators, regardless of their personal feelings of loyalty, should display good sportsmanship. Please remember that inappropriate behavior may result in removal from the premises. Inappropriate behavior includes offensive language, the use of noisemakers, signs, and not being dressed appropriately for school activities. Support your team and your school while at the same time respecting all athletes and fans during tonight's
Mic
match.
check.
Good luck to both teams tonight and enjoy the game.
Maybe I can hear me a little bit now. Yep.
All right.
Sounds good, James. It's great to be out here with you again tonight. You're looking good, but yeah, that's a foregone conclusion anytime you show up. So.
Well, I need to take you with me everywhere.
So, we good?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a Grand High School tradition to honor and recognize our graduating seniors during their last home game. Tonight, we continue that proud tradition and will acknowledge each senior player in turn with a script written by their family. We'll be doing this in numerical
Doing okay
order,
there?
starting at the top.
How we doing there? That sounds pretty good. Can you hear me, James? No, I couldn't actually.
Simon Davis.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right.
All right, we got Jack back.
Jack back.
Jack in the house. Hey, Jack, we're going to do a mic check. Strap that baby on.
Quinasia Jones. Simon has been playing football
Mic check.
since he was 5 years old.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I think, we're good, man.
All right.
Sounds good.
TU All-Oregon All-Star.
Got a mic check. We got Jack in the house.
Team Lillard,
Jack and James.
Jack and James.
All we need is Jill, and we got Jack, James, and Julie.
Oh, that's Julie. All right.
Jack, James.
Tamon will graduate with a 3.9 GPA and will be attending Western Oregon University to play football. Tamon is an all-around great young man, and he is clearly his mother's favorite son. His smile is infectious. The sky is the limit on the greatness that will continue to be Tamon Davis. Number 3, Ethan McLaughlin. Ethan is joined by his mom, Osa, dad, Sean, stepdad, Chad, sister, Emma, grandparents, Claire and Dave, along with mentor, Sean B. Ethan plays safety and got hooked on football early, starting with flag football in the 2nd grade. He's played on several teams, lots of different positions, but really loves the defense. Ethan, we are so grateful that you got to join your teammates for a senior season this year. We love you so much, and we are super excited to see you move on to the next chapter in your life. Number 5, Terrell Bingham. Terrell is joined by his mother, Bridget Green, stepdad, Larry White, niece, Lauren Caesar, girlfriend, Rakaya Anderson, mother-in-law, Celia Long, nephew, Tyree Brown, cousin, Meir Bonner, and niece, Demaya Scott. JB has been playing football since the 6th grade. He plays wide receiver and has always dreamed to be in the NFL and will prosper in his dreams. He is an excellent athlete and a very exceptional and intelligent young man. He's very kind and loving with his community around him, and when he wants something, he is determined to achieve it. Love your family. Number 8, Bo Edwards. Number 6, Bo Edwards. Bo is joined by his mom, Mona Lisa, stepdad, Dante Sr., his brothers, Dante Jr., Lamar, Raymond, Dante, Damonte, and his sister, the only girl, Dayla. Bo has been playing football for 10 years. This year he gets to play as a slot receiver and cornerback for the Generals. But put him anywhere on the field, and then he shall out. Number 7, Jamison Price II. Jamison is joined by his mother, Jenna Jones, and on live stream, his father, Jamison Price. He has played football for 9 years. His position this year is linebacker, tight end.
Basically, from what I have seen of them, they've got some really talented characters in their list as well.
Apologies on that. Number 7, Jamison Price II. Jamison is joined by his mother, Jenna Jones, and on live stream, his father, Jamison Price. He has played football for 9 years. His position this year is linebacker and tight end. We've watched you play every position from quarterback to punter. Your perseverance and determination to excel in football leaves us in awe. Keep that same determination in life, and nothing will stop you from reaching your goals. We love you. You are light to many.
So that's probably going to be the turning point.
Number 8, Brennick Beck. Brennick is joined by his parents, John and Molly Beck, grandparents, John and Joanne Beck, Jeff and Debbie Baldwin, Jean and Mary Ann Smith, brothers and sisters, Ashley, Garrett, Maddie Kay. Brennick has been playing football since 3rd grade. He started in Pop Warner, Central Point, Oregon. Played in 5 Pop Warner Bowl games in Austin Stadium. He was a ball boy for Crater High School for 6 years and was a unanimous All-League linebacker and honorable mention All-State linebacker last year. He received a scholarship to play football next year at Western Oregon University. We are all very proud of you. Number 10, Jackson Monfort. Jackson is joined by his parents, Nicole and Alex, along with his sister, Skylar. Jackson has been playing football since he was 8 years old. He joined the Grant Youth Program in elementary school. During his senior year with the Grant Generals, he can be found in the safety and wide receiver positions. Jackson is an energetic, passionate, and powerful offensive and defensive player. playing many positions including running back, tight end, wide receiver, outside linebacker, and safety with all league honors. Jackson is loved and supported by his family from across the globe, including his grandparents watching from their home in Belize. We all look forward to seeing where Jackson takes his talents after graduation. We couldn't be prouder of him. We love you, JJ. Number 12, Alex Gray. Alex is joined by his parents, Doug and Sandra Gray, his brother Andrew, and sister Daniela. Alex started playing football in 4th grade and decided to quit after 7th grade. He worked hard his first year back as a junior to become a starting cornerback with all league honors. We have to admit, that was one of the best decisions you've made in your short life. It's fun to watch you get so excited about competing. We love your teammates, you love your teammates, you respect your coaches, and you embrace the challenge of the sport. We are proud of you and are overjoyed that you were able to have a final season your senior year. We love you. Number 13, Luke Orchard. Luke is joined by his mom, Michelle Brandstadt, Kurt, Orchard dad, brothers Noah and Christian, and grandma Mickey. Luke has played football since 5th grade with the Grant Youth Generals and has played high school football for all 4 years with all league honors. He is a starting wide receiver and kicker this year, and he will be going to play football for the University of Idaho. Luke, your family is so proud of your academic and athletic achievements these past 4 years, especially proud of the camaraderie and friendships you forged with your teammates. We wish you the very best, and to all your teammates as well. Go Generals. Number 22, Logan Going. Logan is joined by his parents, Mark and Tammy Going. Logan Going is a 2-year starter at quarterback for Grant. This is Logan's 10th year playing football as a general, starting with Grant Youth Football in 3rd grade. He was part of the Grant Youth National Championship team when he was in the 5th grade. Last season, he was selected first team All-PIL at quarterback and led the Generals to a league championship. Logan is also involved in track and field and basketball at Grant. Logan is an expert skier who spends many days at Mount Hood Meadows every winter. Logan's parents, Mark and Tammy, want to say how incredibly proud they are, not only of Logan's football accomplishments, but the young man he has grown into. His thoughtfulness, inclusive nature, humility, generosity, and kind spirit touch everyone he comes in contact with. We could not be more excited to watch Logan's future unfold. We love you so much. Logan plans to attend college at Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana. Number 52, Caden Siegel. Caden is joined by his parents, Dan and Courtney Siegel, and brothers Connor and Kellen on the field, and on video stream by his grandma Jolene and grandparents Tom and Sherry LaPearl. Caden is a starting defensive lineman and also plays on the starting offensive line with all league honors. He's played football since 6th grade. We all love you, Caden. We've enjoyed watching you compete. You are a warrior. Go General. Number 55, Johnny Jones. Johnny is joined by his grandmother, Julia Mines, Papa Fred Smith, little cousin TJ, and mentor and coach Russell Malaj, along with several men and women in his village. Johnny took football at the age of 3. When we would go to the park and older people were playing football, I couldn't keep him away from the game. I would have to pull him away, kicking and screaming. Once he became a sophomore in high school, he began playing again for Grant. He is now a starting offensive guard and starting defensive tackle with all league honors. Johnny is not one that's missed on the field. With his size and stature, he is a force to reckon with. Johnny is a fun-loving kid that has made it through severe trauma from a young age with a loving family to help him learn to redirect himself. He is growing into adulthood with a solid foundation. Love your family. Number 57, Henry Kanzler. Henry is joined by parents David and Lisa Kanzler and Lucas Kanzler, brother and former Grant student. Our player is Henry. He has played a few years with CYO and has played all 4 years at Grant. He is the starting center and was named first team All-League center last year. Henry, we have really enjoyed watching you play. We are so proud of you and excited to see where your life takes you. Number 82, Jack McArthur. Number 82, Jack Schloss. Jack is joined by his mother, Jessica, and father, Lamar. The family is so proud of Jack's hard work and dedication on and off the football field. Jack began playing football as a defensive lineman in the 4th grade, and he developed a love for the game right away. He has since moved to wide receiver and safety. Every year, his enthusiasm for the game has grown. Jack is a true football fan. He loves college and NFL football and has an encyclopedic knowledge of football facts. Off the field, Jack loves skiing, fishing, and playing basketball with his friends. Jack can't wait to start college in the fall and will have the best memories of being part of the Grant Generals. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to all our seniors tonight.
It's always like this. We try to put their kids on TV, and they always have some hardships.
Hold on.
How you doing, Jack?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
You feeling it, Jack?
Yes,
Jack's
sir.
feeling it.
Yep.
James is
Indeed.
in the house.
Indeed.
James is in the house. Got that. That's a nice breeze. It's a nice breeze. Watch out for the umbrellas. Ellery, I think we're ready. When you are, give me the thumbs up when we're up. All right, hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Franklin High School, where tonight we're bringing you the Grant Generals taking on the Jefferson Democrats. I'm Steve Acton, along with James Broadous, and coming in tonight, Jack McArthur. He's going to help us out with the color tonight. Coming into the game tonight, the Grant Generals are 2-2, 1-0 in league, and the Democrats 2-2 also, but 2-0 in league. Going to be an interesting matchup. Both of these teams have been longtime rivals, and James, you can kind of speak to some of the competitive games that these two have had.
Yes, you know, Steve, when you talk about rivalries, you know, or you talk about like the old school, the Hatfield and McCoys,
Right.
the Red Sox and Yankees, you know, but here in Portland at the local high school level, there's nothing bigger than Jeff Grant. And everybody knows about Jeff Grant. Basketball in particular is a long tradition of just back and forth, but Jeff Grant rivalry goes beyond sports. It's or beyond basketball, beyond football, out in the playgrounds, you know, at the park, open gyms. There would be plenty of times where, and me as a graduate from Jefferson, but I sent my son went to Grant. I coached basketball over at Grant. Wherever you are, there's always going to be some people, and there's going to be some type of a contest between Jeff Grant.
Some jabs here, some
Some
jabs
jabs
there.
here, exactly. And I know there's a few people that always have bets on the game, on whatever Jeff Grant is
funny.
doing. And that's just how it is. And it's a friendly rivalry, but it is serious business. And these two teams, they're going to go out here and they're going to compete like they always have. We've seen Grant put up a good fight against Central Catholic last week. Jefferson has been up and down a little bit, but this rivalry will bring out the best of all of them.
Absolutely, and there's just some keys to the game. You know, Jack was able to talk to some of the coaches during the course of the week, and actually even pregame here. Give us a little flavor of what the coaches are talking about.
All right, here, Steve. Well, yeah, I talked to Coach Beck yesterday on the phone, and he told me some of the keys to the game include making DeAndre Fair uncomfortable. That's the star QB on Jefferson, DeAndre Fair. And they need to really pressure him and get under his skin there to make him throw it away and really just run it.
Sure.
And make him uncomfortable. And they also need to execute their run game and take advantage of special teams opportunities. They got to punt the ball well, get those snaps off quick. Got to take advantage of any field goal opportunities they may have and try to knock those through and just get as many points on the board and take advantage of special teams.
Right.
For sure.
And you know, Grant, that's Coach Beck. That is his system. One of the things that what we just heard is this is sort of the same type of game plan that it was against Central Catholic. You know, he's proud of his special teams. He wants to take care of the basketball, take care of the football, and limit big plays. You know, and you can tell that's what he preaches to his team.
And then on the other side of the ball, Jack, what are we hearing?
On the other side for Jefferson, I talked to Coach Lillard before the game, and he told me that some keys to the game include not turning the ball over, being successful on first downs, and scoring on the first drive. He really wants to come out here hot. Once they get that first drive, really want to attack, and Jefferson's going to try to score here early. And for the injury report, we have number 4, Vidade Migata, and number 8, Malachi Spinks, and number 60, Malik Wilkerson, all out for the Democrats. And Grant, I don't think they have any injuries, but before Coach Beck told me that the starting DE, Ted Shepard, was dealing with some sickness, but he should be back for this game.
Sounds good. Hey, nice report, Jack. And Jefferson will get the ball. We'll see if they can hold true to that first commitment to score on their first drive. Trajan Williams back for the Democrats.
Last week we saw the Generals sort of win the battle of special teams, and like Coach has made a big emphasis on it. Let's take a look and see how it plays out in today's game.
Big kick, and we're underway. That'll be taken at the 5. Great penetration there by Grant, and drugged down at the 15. Nice tackle there by Jamison Price. So it'll be a long field, Jack, for those Democrats to cash in on scoring first in their first drive.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great tackle there by Price. And, you know, this is Jefferson's really first drive of the game. They're opening it up here. Hopefully they're going to try to score early, but we'll see what they can do.
You know, Jamison Price, I've watched Grant a couple of times. We're going to be saying his name a lot. In particular on defense, he's all over the place. He loves to make big plays. And as you can see right there, that was one of them right there, an example.
Now Grant against Central last week, you know, had some success in penetrating into the backfield on the rush, you know, creating some disruption, but it wasn't consistent. It'll be interesting to see if they can be more consistent tonight. Center off the right side, short pickup there.
Carried by number 1, Trajan Williams.
Williams on the carry. At quarterback, DeAndre Fair Jr. What a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, it's real nice out.
You know, it's not bad having football in the spring, James.
Yeah, there are some advantages, and you know, we would probably not have this type of weather had we played it during this normal part of the year.
We would be all bundled up right about now.
Yep.
Ball hits the ground.
Wow.
And it looks like the Democrats will cover. Nice job there by DeAndre to jump on that, but to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Democrats.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. The Democrats are going to have to get something going early here. Maybe try some play action, go for a deep ball, because it's 3rd and 10. They're going to have to start, you know, getting on the board and really trying to push this offense.
And they brought in their main guy, Demir Collins, the Oregon commit.
Mm-hmm.
He's lightning fast. Every time he touches the ball, he has a chance to take it to the house. And now he's lined up in the slot. So let's see if they get him involved early.
Just front line rush. Nope. Everyone drops back into coverage. Oh, and you talked about it. How about the breakout? Enough for a first down. DeAndre Fair. Oh, boy. I take that back. It looked like he had it, but he kind of went lateral. Probably would have been better served just turn it upfield and get to the stick. So he'll be short. It'll be 4th and about 3.
Yeah, you know, you're moving the ball, you're running the ball, and you got to make a decision. And it looks real easy up here, but the decision at some point down there is, do I save myself or do I try to get these extra yards? And he tried to turn it up. He could have maybe got the first down, but he tried to get the big yards and ended up coming up a little bit short.
So it looks like trying to draw him off of the hard count. Weren't able to do it. Democrats will call timeout. Looks like they'll bring the well, they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, they might punt on here. It's a really tough call because it's a 4th and 3. You could go for it, but on the other hand, you might just want to play it safe and punt it. That's
Yeah, field position, especially early in the game is very important. It'll be interesting the call here. Do you want to give Grant that early opportunity with a short field?
Yeah, and then some of that will come down to how do you trust your punters, and
Right.
traditionally Jeff has not had a consistent punter, so, you got to take a gamble at some point, and I don't know if you do it this early, but that is a question that you have to ask yourself. How good is our punting team?
Looks like they will go into punt formation.
Yeah, I was watching the kicker warm up earlier. I don't know if the kicker is the same, if he's a punter as well, but their kicker was hitting from 45 yards, 40 yards in warm up, so I don't know if he's punting for them too, but if he is, then
Big rush.
could be
Boy,
good.
that was a nice punt.
it's a great punt.
All the way down to the 30. Tamon Davis will have to watch it be down at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Grant Generals will take over. That was not a bad punt there.
Owen Markell, the junior kicker and punter, man. Yeah, he's got a leg. That was at least half field, at least 50 yards in that one.
And he, as a scouting option, when they watched the film from the Grant Central game, they saw how deadly that special teams were. They had a 100-yard touchdown return. Both of the punts that I can remember moved the ball a little bit down the field. So
Right.
I'm sure they had that scouted, and that's a big punt for them.
And Logan Going lines up a quarterback, and they bring in Chili Stevens. It'll go to Stevens on a read option, and he'll pick up a few. If we're calling Chili Stevens on that, I might get hungry by halftime.
Chili Stevens.
And guess what, Jack? You're the youngest one, so we may have to send you out for that.
Well, man, maybe. The real question is, are the concession stands even open?
No, that means you have to go a long way.
Yep.
2nd and 8. Empty backfield. Logan swings it out to Davis. Great coverage there by the Democrat defense.
Logan, the going pass is complete. Number 1, Tamon Davis.
Again, that's one of those plays, those quick pass plays, just to try to get the ball in the hands of Davis. He's a game breaker, and you want to try to get the ball into his hands as much as possible.
So 3rd and a long 5 for the Generals. And looks like they'll shorten that distance with the hard count. The Democrats jump off sides. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough for a first down as they walk it off. Depends on how big the strides are, James, right?
Right. We've seen some referees with some big strides early in the season.
Offsides on the defense.
That hard count. And that I've been talking about that all season. That's one of my favorite moves is that hard count here at high school football. Kids get excited. They're ready to get in there. It's 3rd down. You're going to pin your ears back and try to get to the quarterback. It's a great opportunity to pick up quick 5 yards. And now you go from 3rd and 5.
First down, General.
They did move the chains.
1st and 10.
So it was a long strider. Long strider. That puts the ball out to the 38-yard line. Chili over the right side, and he'll pick up 5.
Chili Stevens is the ball carrier.
Almost looked like he was going to break that one free.
If he was playing in a bowl game, would he be a bowl of chili?
A bowl of chili. That's right. Bowl of chili. Oh, wide open out here, and drops it in as Logan. A stutter step. How about that move? Great move there by Luke to kind of freeze the pursuit, cut it inside, and take it into the end zone for this first score of tonight.
Yep, Luke Borchardt, the senior wide receiver, uses shiftiness there. He caught the ball, got an extra few yards, cut back, went to the right, lost the defender, went all the way.
All the way. That was good. He was wide open, too.
Yes, he was.
And nice job to just kind of drop that in there.
think the DB had his eyes in the backfield, and that's one of the first things you learn in DB is don't have your eyes in the backfield, and the receiver ran right by him, and Luke is a big target, and so he was able to catch that and get in the house.
Big rush. PAT is up and good. So the Generals draw first blood. That's about a 60-yard pitch and catch there by the Generals. I want to remind everyone this is a Oregon Sports Beat broadcast brought to you tonight, and that will be rewindable because you're watching Oregon Sports Beat.
That's right. You can see all the games on YouTube later.
When we were growing up, we had black and white TVs, and we didn't have the benefit of rewind anything. We had like 3 channels, and now these kids, they can see the video and they go back and rewind it, and then they can even like doctor it. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with that. The benefit of the generation.
Right.
It's true.
Steve, I can't believe you guys had only 3 channels. I thought you just had radio.
Well, right. It wasn't until I was almost out of the house that we got that TV. It weighed 600 pounds too, by the way. Trajan Williams back. Short kick. Looks like it's going to bounce out of bounds, and so I don't know if that was intended or not. Try to drop it in there and possibly.
Luke Burchard is like, look, man, I can't do everything. I just catch the 60-yard touchdown. I kicked the extra point. Now I'm kicking off, too. Come on. He's a little bit tired. Can I get a break?
Yeah.
My legs are tired, right?
Could have been the wing that took that one, too, man. That ball was going back.
Absolutely.
All right, so the Democrats will take, still trying to figure out where they're going to put it. Looks like about the 35-yard line.
Earlier in the game when the Democrats had the ball, I made the call that Demir Collins was coming in, but I think that I was mistaken because I'm not seeing Demir Collins out on the field at all. And I wonder what that's all about. He is a big-time football player, and if he's not playing, then that's going to change the game.
Good mishandled snap. Able to pick it up, but not after giving up a few yards is DeAndre Fair Jr. It's twice on miscues under center. And, you're just burning a play. I mean.
Last week they had quite a few troubles with the center quarterback exchange. Most of the time they're in the gun, and the ball went over his head 4 times in the first half. So that's something that they are going to have to continue to work on. Matter of fact, this is a different center from last week's game. So it's going to be some problems, I would anticipate.
Fly sweep off the right side. Got upfield. Able to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job there by number 12, Alex Gray, the corner there to contain him. He really slowed him down. Didn't get that many yards on the play.
Tackled by number 12, Alex Gray.
For Jefferson, that was number 83, but he's not appearing on my roster. So 3rd now for the Democrats. Still looking to get into Grant territory. Big rush. Fair steps up, trying to avoid it. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but he had no chance. He couldn't get his eyes upfield. Want to bring up 4th down.
No, that pressure right there is just causing major problems right up the middle. We've said this before, no matter how good your wideouts are, no matter how good your running back is, your quarterback, if you don't have time to get the ball to them, then you really have nothing. And right now, Grant is dominating that line of scrimmage. It's just not giving Fair a lot of time to make plays.
Right. If the O-line can't contain the D-line, that's going to be an issue. You got to really slow him down. And Johnny Jones there, the defensive tackle for the Generals, contained him and stepped up and stopped him.
Owen Barkle to punt. Big rush.
Wow.
Oh, it's blocked. And that'll be returned for a touchdown. I want to say that's number 20, Max Von Ark.
Yes, it is. Max Von Ark, the junior wide receiver and linebacker there with a great recovery, took it back all the way, and that one faked all of us out. We thought that went all the way potentially, but you know what? They blocked the punt instead.
Big rush there, and that's the special teams that you talked about, James. And Coach Buck was really looking to excel tonight on.
Yeah, indeed. That's part of the game. I mean, that's the third leg of the game. And you can see that they make a big deal out of it. Coach just gave Max Von Arx the turnover belt. I would imagine that's called the turnover belt. He has this belt of champions. It looks like a heavyweight belt, and Max gets to hold on to it.
Kick is up. Kick is good. We should probably think about how we can incorporate that in the booth. A good play call, you get the belt. But right now, the belt does go to the Grant Generals, going up 14-0 with 5:22 in the first quarter. Could be an uphill battle here for the Democrats if they can't get some offensive production.
Definitely. I think one thing that Jefferson needs to do, like I mentioned earlier, is really contain that D-line with our offensive line. They really just got to stop them. You know, these guys are coming in there, and especially that pump block, you got to contain the D-line, and they didn't do it that time. So that's definitely a big thing.
That penetration's plaguing Jefferson right now.
Indeed, if you're going to have any chance of coming back and turning this thing around, you're going to have to win the battle at the line, and they're going to have to figure something out, because this could be a long one.
Williams from the 1, trying to find something up the middle, and he's dropped at the 17.
Yeah, there's Grant special teams again doing a great job of containing them. Stopped him at the 15. He didn't even get to the 20-yard line there. He was just swarmed by a bunch of Grant players.
Trajan Williams, he's a playmaker, you know, so he wants to make the play. He's going to catch that ball and try to, as we say, move the crowd. But sometimes in this situation, you may just be better served just letting the ball bounce and see if it goes into the end zone.
So now they're going out of the shotgun, getting out of under center. Penalty flags come out. Typically when they stop the play, it's going to be the offense backing up.
Not a lot of room to be backing up.
Well, it looks like they're going to walk it off. That's what I get for assuming.
Well, you know what they say.
You know, if I could keep my mouth shut for 30 seconds, I wouldn't have to be backtracking right now. So it'll be 1st and 5, the benefit of the Democrats.
Must have lined up off sides. You know, again, that eagerness is trying to get in there. Once you start smelling blood, as they say, you know, you're trying to get in the backfield as fast as possible, and you got to watch that ball. Watch where you line up.
Hold up, what's up on the right side. Looks like Demario Jameson on the carry.
First big play. I mean, that was a nice chunk play right there for the Democrats.
Number 7, Jamison Price.
Well,
2nd down.
Well, it looked like it, but when I look at
the sticks, yeah,
maybe he ran further in the backfield than I anticipated. It looked like it maybe a gain of 2 yards.
That's going to be 2nd and 4.
Okay. The clouds got in my eyes.
Oh, and you talked about that enthusiasm, James. That'll give him the 1st down on 2 penalties.
I think you can literally do that, I would say, 4 times a game at high school football.
The hard count.
The hard count.
Yeah.
They're teenagers. We all know as teenagers you tend to forget things. You're working on your own understanding. Uh-oh.
Hey, nice job there. Still on his feet.
Run by number 6.
Pushing
Number
the pile
6,
there.
Leonard Bo Edwards. Oops, sorry. Tamario Johnson, wrong side of the sheet.
Number 3, Ethan McLaughlin.
So nice pickup there. A lot of them a lot of yards picked up on his own.
He's running hard, you know, and in this type of a game, he's going to have to run yard. There's not a lot of holes that are being presented to him, so he's going to have to make his own. and that's what you saw him do right there for those 5 tough yards. Gets a nice break. He deserves that break.
And fly sweep to the short side of this field. Short of the first down. Again, that was number 83.
Carried by number 83 on Jefferson. Tackled by
Pickup of a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
So they've ran that fly sweep a few times here, and what that tells me is that it's setting them up for something else. At some point, you're probably going to fake that handoff and play action to the other side, or some misdirection rather to the other side. It looks like they're setting it up for something big.
Yeah, that's a good point. A little discussion on the sidelines between the coach and the official there. Now DeAndre Fair going to the sidelines.
This takes a lot of time. Just in general, I've never been a big fan of having your quarterback run to the sideline to get the play. It takes quite a bit of time, and you get to the line of scrimmage and you don't have a lot of time to make any adjustments. And it also adds some 20 yards to running every play
over the
for
course
your
of a game.
quarterback.
Yeah, and there's that kind of one-off, the fly sweep. The pass is complete. That's out to Trajan Williams, still on his feet, and out past the 30-yard line into General's territory. Fantastic pitch and catch there. And you talked about that fly sweep variant, and that's where they went.
Yeah, definitely hard to bring down Williams. He is a speedster, and he is very shifty as well. You see him using his abilities there, just going in and out. He broke multiple tackles, and it was hard to bring him down. He kept going.
Kept going, yeah. Big play there for the Democrats. Bring up 1st and 10. And success comes when you limit mistakes. And so they haven't had any of those muff snaps, no penalties so far. So their execution definitely has improved on this drive. Handoff up the middle. Looks like Xavier Russell on the carry.
Run on the play by number 22, Xavier Russell.
So you see the Democrats are doing a lot of subbing, and they're getting the ball in the hands of quite a few people, trying to figure out where they can get a mismatch or what's the best matchup. And right now it's working for them on this drive.
Yeah, great point. They are mixing it up a bit.
Papers flying everywhere, man, the wind.
Play action, big rush. Able to shake him momentarily is Fair. He's taken down from behind, a loss of about 10 yards on that. It's unfortunate. Again, he had a difficult time getting his eyes up early. The rush was just in his face, and then the rest was history.
Yes, and then you're running for your life. That rush that we talked about is causing these guys problems. You want to play action because you've been setting it up, but that play action takes a little bit longer to materialize, and by then you don't have a lot of time with this Grant rush that is getting through.
So 3rd and about 17. They drop everybody back. Rush comes from behind. He's able to get it off. Has a receiver. And that is hauled in for a beautiful catch. Help me out, Jack. You got those young eyes. Who was that guy?
Looks like number 33, Anthony Lamberth.
How about
called that one. Anthony Lamberth there used his ability, really had to dive out there to get it, but it was a pinpoint pass right into the hands. He reached out and he got it. He made the big play for his team there. Looks like the Democrats are right back in this one. 7-point game coming up if they can make this PAT.
You said that right, Jack. He made a big play, and sometimes in these situations, the ball may not always be put right on you. The quarterback is running for his life. He's just trying to buy some time, and he's going to give you a chance to make a play. Then it's up to the receivers to make that play. He laid out full extension, and that was a big play. That's the type of stuff that they're going to need in today's game. And let's see this kicker. We were watching him warm up, and we were really impressed.
Wow, the kick is blocked.
The Generals' special teams did a great job there to contain them as that PAT is blocked there. But like you said before the game, we saw this kicker, number 20, Owen Markell, man, he has a leg. He could hit from 50 yards, at least 45. But yeah.
So the Democrats able to answer with 1:11 left in the first quarter. Has got to give them a little bit of hope, and hopefully that momentum to carry them. Again, this is Oregon Sports Beat. We've got a couple highlights for tonight. People will be rewinding that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's good to see all the fans. You know, they're starting to ease up a little bit and let the fans in. And I believe it's 150 people per school.
Right.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, something like that. And it's good. I mean, this is what high school football is about. You mentioned it earlier, Steve, when they were doing senior night. You know, just to have the opportunity to recognize these students, these student athletes who have put in all this work. It's really it's a really good situation that they've allowed people to come and recognize these guys.
Yeah, definitely. A shortened season is better than no season at all. So I'm glad that they're back out here and we have some fans.
Exactly. Line drive kick to Tamon Davis. Looking for a seam. Cuts it back. Good coverage by the Democrats, but good luck containing Davis as he breaks it out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like a blindside hit there. That's why the flag came out. One of the Generals players just hit it.
Blocking the back.
Yeah, just blocking the back, man. It's gonna
How
be a
often
flag.
do you see that in football?
Exactly.
At all
A lot.
levels, the block in the back.
You see that a lot, but it doesn't get called every time.
You know,
That's for sure.
when you're back there, the blockers, they tend to think you're gonna, you know, there's a play. It's usually, you know, return right, return left. Tamon Davis starts right or starts left, and he cuts back right. Now, as a blocker, you're like, whoa, hey, buddy, that's not what we talked about in the huddle. And now you're right, you find yourself right up on somebody, and next thing you know, you sort of forced yourself into a block in the back.
Yeah.
And but
Personal foul on Grant during the
it's
return.
still 15 yards, whether it was forced by your teammate or not. And they're going backwards.
Way back inside the 10-yard line.
First down, Grant.
And going to be a long field for the Generals.
It's still 100 yards. It's the same length of the field that it's always been, Steve.
Well, sometimes it looks longer, especially when you're walking out over the left side. Nice pickup there.
Run by number 11, Jason Pete.
Looks like number 11, Jason Pete on the carry. He'll pick up about 5.
First time we've heard his name. Last week we heard his name quite often, in particular on that first drive. We know that he's a game breaker as well. So let's see if they start trying to feature him.
Play action. Little comeback route. Flag comes out. Intended for Jamison Price on a back shoulder throw.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, that was definitely pass interference there, but it looks like number 0, but I don't see a number 0 on my roster, guys. I don't know about you guys, but.
Yep, nope.
Yeah.
But is 0 even a number, right?
Yeah. I mean, Damian Lillard,
Only if it's,
right?
oh, okay, I guess, yeah.
But technically, 0 is a number, right? I mean, you got a lot of great
zeros out there.
A lot of great zeros. The double 0, Robert Parrish, right?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it, right?
That's a
Oscar Robertson. No, he was 14, but he was known as the O. Yeah.
Jack, what do you know about those guys?
He's
You're
a-
way too young.
I know a lot about sports.
He's
man.
just
I
into
mean,
college, and he's pulling out Robert Parrish.
Penalty reversal.
And
Robert
Oscar
Parrish, man, the
Robertson,
chief
that's
right there, man.
impressive.
I mean, he was number 14 though, but he was known as the O. So
You get a nickname for that, you J Mac. I'm gonna start calling you J Mac now.
The J-Mac attack.
I mean, Kevin Love won a ring with the Cavs. Think about it, number 0.
Going hands off up the middle. Nice run there. Big hole there created by the Generals. And again, that was number 11, Jashawn Pete on the carry.
Tackle by number 23, Jeremiah Matthews.
You know, that go back one play to that pass interference. The DB, the unnamed DB, he was the one that got burnt earlier on that long pass by Luke Ricard.
Right.
And this time you can tell that he's more focused. You're not going to beat me again. And
Right.
so although it was a pass interference called on him, but he was not going to allow himself to get beat. And sometimes a pass interference penalty is worth it if there was an opportunity of the play going for 6.
Well, and you wonder if he was a little fearful of, letting him get past him, so he stayed on top of the route and had to come back. Nonetheless, hey, we put one quarter in the books, and after one quarter, it's the Grant Generals 14 and the Jefferson Democrats 6.
Yeah, we got a relatively close game here, 8-point game. Jefferson is still in it. Obviously, it's really early in the game here, but I still think that the Democrats need to do a better job of containing that D line, because they keep forcing themselves in there and getting some big stops, and if they can't contain them, then it's going to be a long night, like you were saying earlier, James.
Yes, and I'm sure the coaches over there are talking about that. They're fortunate enough to where not all their offensive linemen are playing defensive line, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities to sit on the side and talk. I see over here on the Grant sideline, they have a TV, they have the whole setup out here, and so you can watch real-time action of the plays that you just missed and learn from it. And so I'm wondering if both teams are able to have that same technology.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool.
I thought they were going to watch Jeopardy. I thought it was like a halftime thing.
Alex Trebek tribute.
Or the Final Four, Gonzaga.
All right, Gonzaga, man. That's UCLA.
2nd and 9. Official stop play here. They're going to come in and talk about it.
Steve, I'm that guy that wherever I go, I'll try to find a way to watch the game. My wife hates it because we'll go out to eat and I'll act like I'm going to get something, buying her something at the bar or something, and then I'll go and ask her, hey, can you turn that channel up there to the Blazers? I'm that guy. I had a portable TV everywhere. I had a portable TV that I would carry with me. So if I was down there on that Grant sideline, you can believe I would be trying to turn that TV somehow, get it to the game, simulcast it from my phone or something.
You may have a problem. 2nd and 5. Oh, nice job to bounce it outside. And how about Luke Going trying to get a lead block there, but nothing doing there as that the Democrat defense comes up and stops for no gain.
Yeah, that was another key general that you guys were talking about earlier, Jay-Sean Pete. But the Democrats did a great job of stopping him there, and they really clogged up the left side, and he couldn't get very many yards in that at all.
How about the center for the Generals? Look at, he's lost half the paint off his helmet.
Wow, that is wild.
Now, how about, think he's involved in some action?
Jeez.
Going, drop packs, pretty good rush there, but hey, great grab. Get a read on the receiver there.
That was nice right there. First of all, it was a nice throw. That windows drill, he put that ball right in that window. And as a receiver, you're taught to catch the ball, but you also are looking around. And he did not let the fact that he was in harm's way distract him from catching that football. That was a nice catch right there. I don't know what was nicer, the throw or the catch.
And that was Alex Gray.
Alex Gray, yeah.
Hanging in there. That's a tough, that crossing route. Sometimes you can get punished through there. 1st and 10 for the Generals. A swing pass out to Pete. And he'll pick up a few there.
Pass to number 11, Jay-Sean Pete, is complete.
Just, again, just picking up 3 or 4 yards here when you can. It doesn't always have to be a big play. These are actually the plays, the drives that the coaches like. Sustained drives over time, moving the chains. It doesn't always have to be a 40-yard bomb or anything like that. And that's what's happening here, just methodically moving the ball down the field.
Read option again. Ooh, finds a seam is Jefferson Pete. Looks like he'll get enough for a 1st down. Move those chains.
Yeah, if Pete broke one more tackle, he could have went all the way. It looks like he was almost freed up to the point where he could go all the way, but that was a great job of Jefferson to stop him in his tracks there, but that's a good gain and a good play by Pete.
Looks like they may have found something off this right side, and they just keep working it. And one thing I do know about Coach Beck, if it's not broke, he's not going to fix it.
Chili Stevens in the backfield. They go to the other side. Flag comes out. It's Davis on the catch. Short gain.
With throwing it from the white hat, that's typically like roughing the passer or something in the backfield like of that nature.
called it, James. That's why we keep you on the team. I mean,
Personal foul of roughing the passer.
Is that what it is?
Jefferson.
yeah,
I thought it
that,
was because I was buying you guys pizza.
that, and pretty nice guy in general. So
You know, can I share a story quickly?
No.
Jefferson's last game against Westview, they scored with 1 minute and 30-something seconds left in the game to tie it up. They got a personal foul penalty called on them after the touchdown, backed them up, and they couldn't go for, now they can't kick the field goal because now they're 25
far
yards
out,
deeper,
right.
and they lost with, they lost on that play right there.
Take the
Penalties
screen.
will
Big
hurt.
rush from the back. Disregard that flag. The official did not pick it up after the last call, but all the way back to the 50-yard line.
Lamar Washington.
Who was that?
Lamar
You get the license
Washington.
plate? Lamar Washington.
number 2, the dual sport athlete, the basketball and the football player. Look out for him, man. He's a star.
Well, when he was coming around the corner, he did block the sun. He is pretty tall. 6'4", 220.
Yeah, Jefferson has a long list of athletes, and if you could get them to play football and basketball, then they would have as much success in the football as they do basketball.
Chili Stevens up the middle. Has to bounce it outside. Boy, nice job there by the Democrats to really come up, and Chili Stevens really didn't have much to look at. He's a little bit slow to get up there.
On the play by number 15, Jeray.
Yeah, he had 3 Democrats on him, man, going straight for the legs there, brought down. But he tried his best.
He kept bouncing it till he could find a hole. But Jeray Mott, coming from the safety position, he just came up like a something. What? Like it? What?
Like
Steve?
freight train.
Like a freight train, and just went for his legs and knocked Chili Stevens down. Great play, Jeray Mott.
Going deep. Has a man open. Hits him. Going for a first down, all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
I was going to say going, almost gone, but he didn't score that touchdown. Almost there, though, man. That was a great play there by the quarterback going, and the receiver did an even better job of reeling that ball in.
Yeah, that was Montfort on a really great route, and going just really able to drop it in there.
Yeah, they said, we talked about that methodical drive, but sometimes we can't throw the ball down the field, just pick up chunk plays.
Chili Stevens up the middle. He'll get inside the 5.
Run on the play by number
The Generals
2,
can
Chili
get a
Stevens.
first down. Looks like the line to gain just past or just inside the 2-yard line.
Second down.
Oh, and they stop the clock. The ball comes out as the Democrats fall on it. It's a bit demoralizing, guys, when you've got third and more than you can count, and they hit that post route. You think you're going to kind of turn the tide a little bit, maybe get that ball back. You're only 1 score down, and here you are. You're still playing defense
Call this offside
inside
on the
the 5-yard
defense.
line.
And I think that was the byproduct of that hurry-up offense. Jefferson had just made a big stop right before that. They're still sort of celebrating. They're still sort of getting themselves together. Grant got right back up to the line of scrimmage, didn't allow the defense to get set. And matter of fact, it was Jeray Mott that was playing safety, and the guy got behind him right after making that big play.
So a little miscue between the quarterback and the center, and the ball hits the ground. They land on it. Generals keep the ball, but it'll bring up 3rd down.
Jack, if they don't get it here, do you think it's 4-down territory?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I just think that if they don't get it here, they might as well go for it, or they could just take the extra points. That's a tough one. I mean, I would probably just take the field goal, honestly.
Little roll, pass out.
They didn't need to take it, man. They got the touchdown.
Brennick Beck made it so you didn't have to make that call. J-Mac back in for the touchdown. And the Generals go up 20-6. Nice play action here. They've been really trying to punch that ball up the middle. Nice play call there by the Generals to get Beck open in the flat there.
Yeah, little RPO right there, and going made the right decision. Just nice little easy catch.
Chart in for the extra point. Another flag comes out.
Delay of game on Grant.
Wow, delay a game. That's going to move it back.
Retry.
Please don't delay the game.
Don't delay. Kicks up. Looks good from here, guys. And it is good. And the Generals take a 21-6 lead over the Democrats
Our score, Grand
with
General
6:14 left
Jefferson
in the half.
Democrats, 6.
Nice drive. You know, you got to give those guys credit. Well played drive. You know, they got that third and long. It kind of broke it open. But workmanlike fashion. How's that? That's the word I was looking for.
That's it.
Workmanlike fashion.
There was some of everything in that drive. You know, there was a big play down the field, then there was a big sack by Jefferson. There was a big penalty. There was a nice run. It was some of everything on that drive. And again, as a coach, you're satisfied with that drive, obviously, because it comes out. The end result is a touchdown. But you got to see a lot about your guys in that drive. You know, can they battle some adversity? They battled back. Can they execute? They executed, and they answered Jefferson's touchdown drive. So now it's the Democrats' turn. Let's see what they can do.
Austin Yu back with, oops, looks like Nelson. He's back with Williams.
Hey, keep him back down.
Williams will take it at the 9. Boy, how about the coverage there by the Generals?
Kick is returned by number
11-yard
1,
return
Williams.
for Trajan Williams.
Tackled by number 17.
So this will be a big series, obviously, for the Democrats. You know, heading into halftime, you know, you got to kind of close that deficit to give that, at least give yourself a chance in the second half to stay in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 15 right now. They're going to try to at least get a field goal on this drive here so that they can at least get some points on the board.
That's a good point, J. Mac. That's something that we would never have said before about Jefferson. Those of us that have followed Jeff for years, a field goal, and we've seen this kicker, if he can get the time on the line, he can put that ball in from 40 yards.
Definitely, yeah, they have a great kicker. And punter, too. I mean, he can kick and punt. You saw him have that 65-yard punt earlier in this game. That's number 20, Owen Markell, for the Demos.
Jaden Moses. Second down.
Demario Jameson on the carry. No gain there.
There's echoes.
Second and 10.
Lots of echoes.
And they keep it on the ground, keep it up the middle. Once again, it's Jameson.
Carried by number 6.
Able to pick a
Jameson.
couple.
Tackled by number 8, Brennick Mack. Third down.
Clock
this-
running.
Yeah, to this point in the game, this right here might be the biggest snap of the game right here. If they can, if the Generals can hold them, they put the Democrats in a tough position.
And then we can ask J-Mac what play he'd call. Really put him on the spot. Rush comes, stepping up, has room to run. Slides down just past the 30. It's going to depend on the spot.
Run on the play by number 5, DeAndre.
Well, he's DeAndre Fair Jr.
Yeah, he's moving those
First
chains.
down, Jefferson.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you didn't have to ask me that time because they got it on that one. But you know what? Even if that was a 4th and 3, 4th and 4, if I'm Jefferson in this situation, down 15, 4.5 minutes left in the first half, might as well go for it on the 4th here. But they moved the chains, like you guys said. They're going to try to get some points here on this drive.
Absolutely. Great decision by Fair to tuck and run that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it on the ground. Spinning. He almost had the feeling Jameson might break that thing, but the General's able to hold him to a couple yards. He kept spinning, but never could find enough daylight.
Like you said, he kept spinning to try to find himself a hole after the end of that spin, but the Generals kept pursuing, and they were able to wrap up at the ankles and eventually bring him down.
Rush comes. Able to get away is fair. Throws the interception.
Yep, threw that interception there, and it was number 7 on the Generals. That's Jamison Price, like you mentioned earlier, James. He's one of their best players, and he is the one that pressured Fair, and he had to throw that ball, get it off quick. He was bringing him down. He still tried to throw it, but he threw it into the wrong hands. Wrong team, wrong time. That's an interception, just a turnover, yeah.
And those wrong hands, that was Jackson Montfort with the interception. I think we called his name earlier, making a spectacular catch to get him that first down on 3rd and long.
Yep, Generals making plays on both sides, both ends, defensively and offensively. Doing good so far. We got a 15-point game, though.
And Jamison Price coming off the edge, it's assignment football. In his assignment, he's not worried about that fly sweep. He's not worried about the handoff. He's going right after the quarterback and let someone else handle the other assignments. And as you can see, it paid off for them.
Play comes out. You know, some coaches, and I don't know if Coach Beck, some coaches after a big play like that like to counter with a big play down the field.
Remains first down.
You know,
Yes.
Just an opportunity for them to open the playbook up a little bit.
While the defense is still sort of reeling about what this happened, they weren't ready to be on the field. This is the time that teams will take a shot.
Sharpie, play action, little rollout, has his man, Deadman. Deadman picks up about 5. That was Carnell Deadman on the reception.
Carnell Deadman. Tackled by number 10, Jason Davis.
It's a nice play there by Logan. You know, the fake handoff, and as he made his turnaround, there was a defender right in his face, but he was able to get that ball right over the top, right into the hands of Deadman.
Hand off straight up the middle, Jashawn Pete.
Run on the play by
Be a
number
couple yards
11,
short of the
Jason
first
Pete.
down. Clock runs with 2:39 left in the half.
Tackled by number 52, Dante Myrick. 3rd down.
So here comes the Generals quick back on the ball. Going, evades the rush. Oh, nice move, able to cut it upfield, get the first down all the way down to the 20-yard line. Clock will stop, 2:15 left, and the Generals get a new set of downs.
And that was, Goldman did a great job there of using his shiftiness and ability to break past the defender and juke him and keep going as we see another balloon up there going in the sky. Man, last game, there was somebody else that had a balloon. It's really random, obviously, but, you know, people are just...
It's festive atmosphere.
Hey, man, people are just letting go balloons left and right. No, it is very
First
windy.
and 10 for the Gen. Again, a little play action spin move there. Alex Gray.
Logan Goings pass.
And I don't know if you
number
noticed,
12,
guys,
Alex Gray.
but Jashawn Pete was
Tackled by
leaning
number 18,
forward and
Demarion Moore.
easily could have been called for a false start, but flag didn't come out.
He was tipping the play, so to speak, huh?
Gravity was winning.
Gravity was winning.
Timeout, Jefferson.
2nd and 2, timeout Jefferson. 1:34 left in the half.
This is a good call. This is a good timeout by the coach. A lot of times coaches don't like to call timeout on defense, but Jefferson, you can tell they're a little bit winded right now, and rightfully so. They've been out there for a bit, and you know, and sometimes you have to make that timeout just to give you guys a breath of air and let them regroup and then see if you can make this stop. Because again, with this game being a 15-point swing going into halftime, this is a big time stop if the Democrats can come out and not allow the Generals to get in the end zone.
Absolutely. Well said. Sean Pete back there with going. All three receivers at the top of your screen. Looks like we're still in timeout. The officials are having a conversation with the coach.
As a defense, this is sort of helping you. You know, you get an opportunity to check this alignment. You get the while the referees are still having their conversation, you can get your defense in order. Maybe look back through your scouting notes and see what they like to run out of this.
Make plans for dinner.
Make plans for dinner. There you go. That's the big one. May you know, move them around right now. If I was the Generals, I might move my guys around.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. It's just too readable when you got the coach talking to the refs and you got three receivers in the far left here, and they're just trying to read what they're doing here, but they might switch it up like you said.
They may switch it up.
Second and short. And they do bounce as Alex Gray splits out to the right. Going for the corner. Flag comes out.
Logan Cohen's pass is
Incomplete pass.
Flag on the play.
I could speculate here, but I don't know if that was against the defense necessarily.
I think that's what they called, but from where I stand, I couldn't see the. I didn't see that. You know, I mean,
you're calling a game with obstructed view. That doesn't happen here.
Obstructive view, man. Yeah, it's definitely hard to see from all angles when you're trying to look at the field.
Well, they're going to call it against the defense. That'll give half a distance to the goal and a first down. First and goal for the Generals.
penalties will kill you.
Little reverse there, inside reverse. And in for the touchdown. Davis there on the score. Took me a while. I was kind of actually didn't quite see him. So a touchdown there for Davis. Basically inside reverse. And like you said, James, now the gap widens.
Right.
As the Generals go up 27-6 over the Democrats.
You didn't see him, and I would imagine the Democrats didn't see him either, because it was really just a race to the corner. And when you have that type of speed, get the ball in the hands of your speedsters and let them win that race to the corner. And that's exactly what Davis was able to do.
Yeah, I agree.
PAT up is good. Almost hit Benjamin Franklin up on the hillside. And the Grant Generals taking control 28-6 with 1:22 left in the half. Remember, you're watching a Oregon Sports Beat presentation.
It's a nice day, but the sun is starting to go down a little bit.
Gonna have to bundle up, maybe have to stand closer together.
Is that possible?
I don't
Hey, give me one, Jefferson.
Nice drive there by the Generals. You know, these are the game-winning type drives. You know, we talked a little bit about it, just creating some bouncing back from some adversity. That was a turnover. They scored off of turnovers. You know, and in every sport you want to be able to do that. And that was a nice drive before this half. Now, if they can hold Jeff for these last minute and 22 seconds, then they're going to really feel good going into halftime.
Trajan Williams, he'll come up and take it about the 2-yard line. And the Generals will stop him at the 15.
Yep, General Special Teams did a great job of containing Jeff once again, as they didn't even get to the 20-yard line. That's 2 times in a row where they haven't even been able to get to the 20 on a kickoff. And like you guys mentioned earlier, it might just be better off taking a knee or a fair catch just so that they can reset that thing back at the 20.
Yeah, with a guy like Trajan, again, he's a game breaker. He likes to see what he can do, touch it, put his hands on the ball, but he's also putting himself at risk. And clearly you're not getting very far. I may advise him to just let that ball go into the end zone the next time.
Well, those kicks have been deep. He's had his heels pretty much on the goal line.
Yep.
Fly sweep over the right side. J-Mac, you got to tell me what that number is. It's too far away. I'm too old. Who was that?
I think it was Collins, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, Collins back in this game, as you guys mentioned before. I don't think that we saw much of him in this first quarter or the second so far, but he's back out there for the Democrats.
He's a difference maker.
Their junior over the top. Oh, had a man. Slightly overthrew him.
Yep. He did have a man, but he just slightly overthrew Davis there as it was just out of his reach. But, you know, the Demos are going to get another shot at it. But
So, yeah, it'll be third and 5 with 48 seconds left. The clock is stopped. So now you wonder, what's Coach Beck going to do? Is he going to try to maybe get another possession out of this?
Demir Collins, this is a story that we need to scoop on because we're just now seeing him. He makes a difference in the game if he's available early.
Back to pass. Ball comes out. Looks like Fair Jr. was able to, no. They are going to give it to the Generals. And with 41 seconds left, the Generals will take over at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, the Demos aren't doing a very good job of containing the ball and really staying on it because that's another big turnover. It's a costly one as the Generals are going to have the ball here in the red zone at the 19-yard line with about 40 seconds left in this opening half as they're looking to capitalize once again and to get an even bigger lead going into this half as they're already up by 22, but they're trying to strengthen that lead even more.
Looks like Caden Siegel got the belt for that. So either made the hit or recovered the fumble.
I think you have to recover the fumble to get the belt.
Well, congratulations then. 1st and 10. 41 seconds. Handoff inside. That was Chili Stevens. You know, Logan kind of showed the ball up like he was going to pass and handed it off as Stevens was able to pick up just a couple on that carry.
Tackled by number 12, Young.
The Generals call timeout. Stop the clock with 32 seconds.
Timeout called by
As a coaching staff for the Demos, you got the ball back with a minute, a little bit more than a minute, and you have some scenarios going through your mind. You always have scenarios, and you're thinking, you know, oh, maybe we can get this touchdown. We hand the ball off. This play works perfectly. Okay, worst case scenario, we punt. Time runs out. We go into halftime. I don't think the scenario of fumbling at your 20-yard line was in that thinking.
That thought process.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you're right, James.
And now you have your back up against the wall, and you're going to need a big play of your own. Maybe force your own turnover or something of that sort.
You know, as a coach, you're asking these players to fight through the emotion. I know you're down. You know, I know you're deep in your own territory. We got to step up. We got to get a play. And that's hard for young players to kind of snap out of it and focus.
Right. In the middle of the game is pretty hard.
Jump off sides. And that'll give the Generals free 5 yards.
Offsides against Jefferson on play. Remains 2nd down.
Uh-oh.
So 2nd and about 4, 32 seconds left. Going to the corner, high pass. Oh, and that is dropped. Really an opportunity there to haul that in. And somebody's going to be disappointed tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Max von Arx.
Max von Arx, he's going to want to have that one back. He's going to not forget that one. Right in his hands, in the end zone, he just drops it. But
Really going high on that kind of made him go up and
Grab
get it. And a great placement there. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Will they try it again?
The hard count.
Or run that play back?
Off the corner. Boy, how about going hanging in the pocket? Oh, a great grab in the corner. That is complete.
Yeah, looks like that was 13. Luke Borchert there on the reception. He had a Tyler Lockett type catch, tiptoe in the corner of the end zone, and he reeled that one in.
And we got the yellow flag on the field. Gonna have to take a look and see what we've got here. Personal foul roughing the quarterback, so the touchdown will stand. And I gotta tell you, I mean, staying in the pocket for that and delivering that pass, what a great play by Logan Going. You know, the guy was bearing down on him, and he hung in there and just put it on a tightrope, 4-6.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a quarterback, you have to be willing to stand in that pocket. It's not always going to be applesauce's BB guns. You got to be able to stand in there and be ready to take a hit, and that's what he did, and delivered a strike.
PAT's up, and good. So with 22 seconds left, the Generals take a commanding lead, 35-6.
And how about that catch? You know, J. Mac, you were up here and you were demonstrating little twinkle toes up here. You know, too bad people can't see that, but it looks really good. And that's what, you know, that's what Borchert was able to do. Just toe that line, catch the ball, bring it in. You're talking about rewinding the tape. He's going to be rewinding
Oregon
that film.
Sports Beat rewind opportunity. That was fantastic. You know, that's one of those playground plays. You know, when you're out throwing the ball around, you got the playground going, you know.
You're always working on those tiptoes. Yeah, catching the ball down the sideline.
That's right.
Yeah, Borchert's going to put that one on his highlight reel, man. He's a great receiver. That was a great catch. And the Generals, like you guys mentioned, they have a commanding lead here as they're performing really well.
Watch those.
So now they get the kick from the 40, or they're going to bring it up, actually even more from the personal foul.
Shoot, James, you could almost probably hit the end zone from here. Well, probably not.
With my 3-wood.
3-wood.
Do you onside kick? I mean, you know, this is the Jeff Grant
never
rivalry.
talk about the rivalry.
You know, you may onside kick, run this thing up.
Yeah.
You could do it. I mean,
what's the worst? You get the ball at the 25 or close to the 30?
yeah, I mean, there's only 22 seconds left in this
Holy
first
moly.
half anyways, right? So, I
And
mean,
then-
they could do anything they want here.
Okay, so the referee.
Yeah. Offsides. Is that what the offsides?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I mean,
So they'll back it up 5.
did he really call that? Come on, Steve.
Hey, you got to call it as you see it.
You don't.
I mean,
Not with 22 seconds left in the half. It is a 29-point game.
Getting the football out there.
Penalty against Grant.
Nobody would have even noticed that. The ball was going into the end zone anyway. It was just going to bring it back to the 25. Maybe the refs get paid by the hour.
So Luke Pachard in the kick, and he will kick it into the end zone.
that one's going to be a touchback.
Kick by Luke Borchert results in a touchback. First down, Jefferson.
And Jefferson, you know, at the 20 at this point, you know, obviously you don't want another turnover. You take a knee, you go into halftime and regroup.
But if Houston Lillard is anything like his brother Damian Lillard, he's going for it. He's going to pull up from the hash right now. He's going to still try to get some points, you know. You know, the smart play may be just to go ahead and let the clock run out, but at this point also, what would it hurt?
Right.
You have one of the most electrifying players, if not the most electrifying player in the state. Give him the ball and see what he can do.
And they'll run. Look at a few. Clock runs. 16 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, they went for it, man, but like you said, Damian Lillard, Houston Lillard, part of that Lillard family. You got to have the winning mentality, and you got to keep going. You got to just keep fighting, regardless of the score. You just got to try as hard as you can. But
Anything you do,
Right.
you do. So, so we get to halftime, and the Generals up 35-6 over the Democrats. Democrats are going to go in and talk this over, try to regroup. And we're going to try to regroup too over the next 10 minutes. We'll take a break here from Oregon Sports Beat, and we'll be back. We'll call it 10 minutes. All right, and we're back here at Franklin High School where we're watching the Grant Generals and the Jefferson Democrats go head-to-head in a first half that was really controlled by the Grant Generals. The Generals able to capitalize on 2 turnovers in the second half and kind of turn the tide, took the lead 35-6. I got Jay Mack here along with James Broadous. We're going to bring you the second half, and really it's going to be all about the Democrats trying to claw themselves back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Democrats, you know, it's never over till the final whistle, but the Democrats really need to start getting something going here because they're down by 29 points and they haven't been able to capitalize much in the first half. But it's really anybody's game. So if they can get a few touchdowns on the board, we've seen crazier things happen, right? But right now, Grant is looking really good, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah, you know, at the beginning of the game, Jay Mack, you talked about the coach wanting to score on the first possession of the game, and now I'm sure that, you know, that still rings true. They want to try to score early to get themselves back in it. We talk about high school age, you know, teenagers, and at some point, teenagers will stop believing.
Right.
And so if you don't do something early, then this deficit could just grow and grow and grow because hope starts to fade pretty fast.
The test will have to be on defense first of the Democrats. The Democrats did get the first half kickoff. And so they're going to have to stop the Generals who, you know, basically put together 2, albeit short drives to end the second half. You know, they were able to mix it up between the pass and the run and were successful take that 35-6 lead.
Looks like they added more time for this halftime to give the teams a little bit more time to warm up.
Right.
And they're going to do some jumping jacks and whatnot. Steve, how much would you have to make me pay you for you to get out there and do 50 burpees?
50 burpees?
50, that's a lot, man. That's
it's more like, it'd be sequential. It'd be like 5 burpees, rest, 5 more, rest, 5 more, heart attack.
Heart attack.
So I get about like 15.
For $20?
Yeah, I do that. But you got to have your cell phone with you because I'm going to need a ride out of here.
Burpees are the cruel and unusual punishment, but as a basketball coach, I use them quite often.
I would think that your teams would be so disciplined you wouldn't need to even threaten a burpee.
Well, it does work. You know, it does work. Just the threat. We call them monsters because there's some running that goes in that's involved in that. You're running, and then you have to do your up downs.
Down and backs.
Yes, and so when we threaten them with the monster, you know, things
settle down.
Yes, exactly.
So you're going to start having to prepare for basketball season, De La Salle, and so your season starts when you start practicing.
May 10th. You know, the third season of this abbreviated season is actually winter sports. So they're going fall, spring, and then winter sports, and we start May 10th. Season ends June 26th, which is going to be interesting in of itself because school will be out. We've never had high school basketball games while school is out. So
Ever. Right?
Ever.
Yeah.
And part of my shtick is, hey, were you in class today? Did you turn in all your homework, you know?
Right.
And all that stuff is going to be over, so I'm going to have to come up with something new to be mean about.
You just have like really long practice, like 8-hour practice.
Yeah.
8-hour practice.
8-hour practice. Pack a lunch.
Pack a lunch. We'll be here a while. All right, so the Generals get the ball here in the second half, and you got Timon Davis and Jay Sean Pete back there, and we know what they can do.
Line drive kick. It's going to take a nice bounce. Oh, boy, big hole. And there goes Davis. Davis, he could be gone. One man to beat. Cuts it inside. He's to the 30. To the 10, and he will score, and there is one flag on the field.
Yep, Timon Davis with a huge run, but like you said, that flag could take it all the way back, so we'll see.
I actually watched that flag materialize, a push in the back. Again, you want to make a play for your teammates so bad. You just want to do something. It's right there in the middle of the field. It really didn't help Davis break free, but you do have to call it.
You got to call it. And the flag's placed at the 45-yard line. They'll bring it back. And Davis, an explosive player. We saw his game against Central. Every time he had the ball, you kind of took a deep breath because you figured something was going to happen.
All he needs is a seam. You make about 2 or 3 blocks. Some kickoff returnmen, you know, you might need 6 or 7 blocks. But this guy, you give him 2 or 3 blocks and a little bit of daylight, and he's going to hit that hole, and he's hard to catch.
He is hard to catch. Big break for the Democrats. Bring that ball. I'll mark it on the 35. Chili Stevens in the backfield, along with Logan Going at quarterback. Stevens off left side, has a seam, has the sidelines. Look at him go, he's down to the 40, cuts it inside. Drags the player all the way down to the 26-yard line.
He looks like he's hurt, unfortunately. Slow to get up.
Tackled by number 10.
Boy, showing the wheels. I mean, he's 6 foot 205, so, you know, but he had some speed when he turned that corner.
Yes, he's a dual. He's a different way of being a dual threat running back because he can hit the speed on the corner or he can hit that hole right up the middle and bruise you that way as well.
A read option and Going keeps it. He'll get out to the 20-yard line, pick up about 6.
Carry on the play by number 22, Logan Going.
That play was very well executed. You know, like you said, it's a read option, and he chose the option of keeping it. But had he handed it off, Chili Davis had a hole to run for some yards too. So both options were good options.
Pitch it out to Stevens. Oh, a lot of running room off that side. He'll go inside the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Yeah, it took him a while, but they finally brought him down to the 7-yard line there. He got an extra few yards, but he took the defender with him. He kept going.
Yeah, those are strong legs, those bruiser legs.
It's getting kind of chilly out here, would you say?
Yeah, it's getting chilly. It's getting chilly. He's got actually the most yards we've seen him put up, actually over probably the course of 2 games. Kind of taken over the start of this second half.
Yep.
Flag comes out. Gave him a practice run into the end zone. Be a false start, and they'll back it up to about the 12-yard line.
5-yard penalty.
Be first and goal from the 12. Chili, Stevens off the left side, inside the 5 and down to the 3.
Billy Stevens is the ball carrier.
Yep.
And you watch all the motion and adjustments on that offense, and then they run it up the middle. It's like they're setting up for some excitement, and then they just go up the middle.
Right, that sort of misdirection of the misdirection.
Right. Second and goal. Stevens into the end zone for a touchdown. So the first drive for the Generals, pretty much Chili Stevens show, and they put in another 6. Kind of a statement drive when you're coming out of halftime, and you can push it down the field and put up 6. It's a big plays coming out of that. Actually, you know, you think about the touchdown they got called back, James, and the Generals able to capitalize even after that. So,
yeah, they are clicking on all cylinders right now, and their confidence is at an all-time high. You can see, and Jefferson, they're going to have to get something going really, really quick if they want to make a game of this, or get back in the game, I should say.
PAT is
Refs say no
no
good.
good.
Yep.
Point after
It's a rare miss for Borchardt on tonight. He's had actually quite a game kicking and playing on the field as well.
Yeah, it could have been the wind there, but he had so much strength behind that ball that it went over the top left part of the post, and it went right on the left, sailed left. So could have been a little bit of wind, could have been a little bit of
kind of like your drive, James.
No, my drive sail right. I wish they would go left.
So the Democrats just looking for something positive to kind of keep this train going.
Yeah, I mean, they started to utilize Collins near the end of that first half, but like James was saying, we don't even know the backstory on why he didn't play until that second quarter. But he's going to have to make an impact on this game too, because he is arguably their best player. And like you said, James, the best, one of the best, if not the best player in Oregon, committed to Oregon State. It's a great running back.
Trajan Williams back for the Democrats. He's able to cradle it. A couple nice moves, and he's out past the 20-yard line, brought down to the 23.
Kick is returned by number 1, Trajan Williams.
And some chipping. It's starting to get chippy.
Yes, it is. Lots of talking going on here as the Grant coach. Got to contain your players, man. Got to be disciplined.
Yeah, this is you know, a lot of these kids grew up with each other. A lot of these student athletes know each other, so you can imagine that there's going to be some talking out here on the field.
Yep, and this is one of the biggest rivalries in Oregon, Jefferson against Grant. It's a big one.
Do they have 10? They got 11 guys? Okay.
As the demos bring on another man, like you were pointing out there, James.
Yeah, and maybe he was like, I don't want to be out here. Ooh.
Yeah. Very short gain there on the carry. That was Jamison.
Tackled by number 24, Jaden Moses. Second down.
You know, you still have to try to establish the run. I mean, you can't just step back and pass every down. We know that the line has been controlled pretty much the whole game by the Generals, so you still have to try to establish some semblance of a run game before you can actually just start opening it up.
The Generals dropping too deep. They come with the blitz, but they do run, get it off the side, but short of the first down. Out of bounds will stop the clock. And again, that was Demario Jamison again on the carry.
I like Jamison. He runs hard.
Yeah.
He runs hard, and he's not really getting taken down by the first tackler. See if they try to go on the hard count.
Oh, well, they did try.
They did try, yeah.
James, I want to borrow your crystal ball. You're pretty good at calling things before they happen. Maybe rent that out.
All right.
He's like Tony Romo, man. You just see the play unfold before it happens.
Yeah.
You know, you can just predict the future sometimes.
I'll start calling you Claire. Clairvoyant.
Tony Romo, and I like Tony Romo as a commentator much more than I did as a quarterback. Not a Cowboy fan. How about you, Steve?
No, I grew up a 49er fan, and so the Cowboys and the 49ers, oil and water there.
J Mac?
I'm a Panthers guy. I even though I'm from Portland, people would assume I'm a Seahawks person because it's the Pacific Northwest, but I've liked Cam Newton for a while.
And the rush comes. Fair Jr. goes down, being a 4th and 10.
You know, he just does not have time. The receivers, you know, some would say that you maybe run your receivers. It's more of a West Coast style offense. Try to get the ball out of his hands quick. 1 or 2 step drop. He's trying to wait for the receivers to get downfield, and he just does not have that time for them to get even 8-10 yards down the field. You may want to think about just trying to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker and running shorter routes or more deliberate routes.
high snap. Oh, nearly blocked again.
Yeah. Definitely affected that punt, as he did not have, you know, enough time to really go through the full motion, as he just got off as quick as he could. So that was a pretty high arcing punt.
Democrats do get a benefit of a nice roll. That was Brennick Beck putting the pressure on. He's probably missing it by her fingernail, blocking a punt. 4:59 left in this third quarter, and the Generals with another short, or with a short field here, opportunity to put another score on the board. We got Chili back in the backfield, and why not? That last drive, he was so successful, and they go back to him. Still on his feet. He'll pick up 5 if he ever goes down.
Carry on the play by number 2, Chili Stevens.
They have Jay-Sean Pete back there receiving snaps from the center. I don't know if you want to call him quarterback, because he's just, I think he may be back there running some wildcat, but he is lined up behind center. And that just gives them another dual threat.
Another dynamic to that offense, right?
Exactly. Okay, Logan Going is back.
But they'll keep him in the backfield.
Throw set. Oh.
Get him open space.
That's
That's
a
a
fumble.
fumble.
As
That is a backwards pass. It will be a fumble, and that is recovered.
wow. And number 11 on the Generals, that's Jay-Sean Pete. He was in shock, as he thought the play was dead there, but it wasn't. Like you said, it was a backwards pass. Therefore, you know, he dropped it. The ball's still alive, so that's a fumble. That's going to be a turnover.
Right. That was. It looks like Caleb Harvey. Very smart play to pick that up.
Yeah, Jay-Sean Pete is mad at his hands, and he's talking to his hands, and man, why didn't you catch this ball? What happened? And the ball is live.
Right.
Caleb is like, hey, thanks. I'll take advantage of this opportunity, and hopefully the Democrats can take advantage of the turnover.
Something quick. It's got to be some quick hitters. Just does not have time to make a lot of reads.
They're going to go deep, going to take advantage of the opportunity, and that ball sails.
But that play, see, that play is what I'm talking about. That it didn't connect, but that was a quick snap, one step, throw the ball, get the ball out of your hands. This is what I believe they should be doing, or they're going to have to do in this second half. And go back to it. If this is a better throw, Trajan Williams, I would take that matchup at any point of the game. Exactly. Run it again. If not now, come back to it soon.
Rolling right to buy some time. Throws, but falls incomplete. A bit short. Flag is on the ground, out of bounds.
Defended by number 25, Milan Clark.
Yeah, that was almost intercepted by number 25, Milan Clark, but he's just out of his reach. He couldn't grab it there. Almost an interception.
Roughing the passer call.
Roughing the passer against Grant.
And those are always hard for the defense, and I get it. You protect the quarterback at all costs. Quarterback is rolling out as a defensive lineman. You're trying to chase him down. You're giving all that you have, and then at the very last minute, he throws the ball, and you're supposed to stop all your momentum.
Right.
It's not always easy to do, but it is something that you just have to do. But that call is not always accurate, but it is called right towards the letter of the law.
And he did have to put the brakes on, because Fair basically did a jump stop at the sideline to kind of stay in bounds long enough to get that pass off.
Yeah. And I can imagine somebody that looks like me trying to put the brakes on, and that's not going to work very easily.
No.
So
Low snap, able to go down and get it, but the rush comes. Just running for his life as Fair Jr. keeps the ball, turns it upfield. He'll be dropped after a 6-yard gain. Good effort there to create something out of nothing coming from that poor snap.
said it exactly right, creating something out of nothing. The ball dropped, and then at that point, you just pick it up and see what you can do. And he ended up getting 5, one of their best plays of the half.
Clock continues to run with 10 seconds left. They may just let's line
Wait
up.
it out.
There's no clock on that end of the field. They have no idea how much time is left.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. Quarter that pretty expedient, but really the Grant Generals owned it, and really Chili Stevens had a fantastic third quarter. The Chili Stevens show.
Yes, he did. He had a great quarter, and you know the Generals still in control here. The Democrats not able to get on the board this quarter as the Generals are just full blast here, just not letting go of the gas pedal. 41-6 as we're about to start off this fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Generals, it's clear they are in complete control of this game. The Democrats, they're not giving up. You know, they are still fighting, trying to do what they can do. It's just the Generals are just not to be denied today. That game against Central Catholic, you know, you learn from games. You don't always have to win every game to learn. They learn from the loss. And as you can see that they are, sort of executing at a higher rate today than they did last week.
Absolutely.
I don't want to see the score of the Final Four if that's what you're trying to show us, Steve. I'm just going to look away.
Okay.
You recorded it, huh? You're going to watch it later?
Yes.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Fair Jr. drops back, evades a tackler, trying to get a shoulder. He'll keep it. He'll try to make something out of nothing again. He gets 3 out of that. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Democrats.
When he sees the film, again, like you said, he's trying to make something out of nothing, but you're that close to the sideline, you may just want to go ahead and run on out of bounds and don't take those unnecessary hits.
Live to fight another day. How many quarterbacks' careers have been abbreviated for trying to take that extra or get that extra yard?
And I give him all the credit for trying to do what he can, and every yard counts, but sometimes it's just self-preservation is a little bit more top priority.
Low throw, and that'll fall incomplete to bring up 4th and 3.
Yeah, he had it in his hands there, but dropped it as, like you said, James, they're still trying to fight back into this ball game, but it's a 4th and 3. You're down by 35 points. Might as well just go for the play action. Go for it, man.
I'm glad he's good at the math.
Oh yeah, he's real good.
Because he'll look at the score. He can say 16. And usually we're breaking out the calculator, J-Mac. So we appreciate that.
It's good to have some youth in the booth.
Youth in the booth, man.
So 4th and 3.
Although I'm still relatively young. I don't know about my partner here. But
Age is just a number. No, it catches up with you. And they do not convert on 4th down. And so, unfortunately, the Democrats will be turned away on this drive.
Tackle on the play by number 24, Jaden Moses.
And the Generals will take over.
Ball over on down.
With 9:54 left in the fourth quarter, they'll spot the ball at the 26.
Yeah, it's a tough night for the Democrats.
Definitely.
Even in those situations right there, you want to be able to count on somebody as a coach. You want to be able to count on one of your linemen and say, we're just going to run the ball up your back and pick up these 3 yards. And it's just not happening for all of them today. And now it looks like the Generals have brought in another quarterback, give some other people some time. There's a helmet.
Wow.
Somebody's helmet
Helmet's
came
on the
off.
ground. Good thing the head's not still in it, so that's good.
But they brought in Ethan McLaughlin, the senior quarterback and safety, as the second stringer for the Generals. as they are clearly in control of this game, 41-6. As, yeah, like you said, another flag on the play, but someone's helmet came off.
Yeah, they're talking, and it's getting a little chippy. One player you're playing, his helmet came off, and he stayed engaged. When your helmet comes off, you are not supposed to stay engaged in the play. He stayed engaged in the play. They threw the flag, and then after that, there was still some talking, and they came out with another flag, and
still talking.
Yeah, once that helmet comes off, play's dead. You just got to, play it dead at that point.
They're talking about it. They did stop the clock.
thanks. The clock man was up here. He was running the clock. I sort of believe that he knew he was supposed to stop the clock.
But he just wanted to keep it going.
Yeah, and just wait until they say something, and then they finally said something. Oh, my bad.
Is that what oh, right. Yeah, those guys look distracted. I think I'll keep it. Still talking it over. There's a lot of pointing. At what point, you get the whiteboard out, and then you start diagramming the play and who was where when the flag came out. There's a lot of deliberation going on there.
Right. And they, a lot of times they're in that huddle. I referee basketball games too. And basketball is different than football, but I have officiated a few youth football games a long time ago. Sometimes you're in that huddle right there and you have no idea. But okay, now tell me what's going on. What happened?
What
happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know a number? What number was the guy?
So it's like those commercials, right?
Exactly. And you're looking around. Oh, shoot. Was it number 47 or was it
26?
Yeah. Okay. And then they're like, we got to make some call.
Got to make a call. Got to make a call. And that's, one guy looks like he's explaining where the Applebee's is that they're going to after this game. The other guy is telling them, no, not Applebee's. Red Robin's gives, look at that. That's
give you the fries.
The fries. That's that move that says,
That's
unlimited
the
fries.
Yes. So personal foul.
Yeah.
Against the Democrats.
Oh, they threw someone
They're
out.
going to eject somebody. They're going to return the favor against the Generals. And sportsmanlike contact.
Jefferson.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, you talked about Chippy. That was Chippy.
But here's
that official's going to need to ice his shoulders. There was a lot of calls on that.
right. It looked like he was doing the Macarena. But where this comes into play is that if you get tossed out of the football game, you have to miss the next game.
Right. So
and both teams have another game
After this.
This. So now that ejection is not just you miss these other 8 minutes of this game. It's really
it's unfortunate. Yep. So they will move the marker down to the 12-yard line.
I was at a high school soccer game yesterday, actually Thursday, and a young lady got a red card with like 25 seconds left in the game.
Oh, no.
And again, you don't think that it's that big of a deal, but now understanding that you're going to miss the next game, when the next game is a league playoff game,
yes.
so it really could come back and haunt them.
It's unfortunate, but when opening the game, we talked about the rivalry. We talked about the rivalry between these two teams, and there's obviously frustration going on with the the spread between the scores.
Right.
And each coach is trying to plead their case. You do get to try to plead your case for the sake of your players.
Right, because the consequences you just mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Huge consequences. Regardless of the sport, whether it's soccer, football, if there's a big penalty against you, or a red card or an ejection, sometimes you just miss the next game, and that can be very costly. And like you mentioned, we have a shortened season, but there still are more games next weekend in the PIL, so that's gonna be pretty costly for both teams. So.
Right. No, absolutely, J-Mac.
Now the white hat ref goes and explains to
all right.
Coach Lillard on the Democrat side of what's going on. And
Well, and now you know why they're being so deliberate in the huddle, you know, to really sort things out.
So this is when, as the offense, I'm going to go up to the line of scrimmage and I'm going to change. I'm going to try to do this hard count. You know that there's some blood flowing right now. They're trying to get after it. I'm going to come up here and try to slow it down a little bit, see if you can hard count. Right now, again, with teenagers, they're out there standing in their formation for this whole
For the play, yeah.
yeah
right.
for this whole time. They've been standing in their formation, and someone has probably forgot to play right now. You know how that goes.
It happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
absolutely.
Believe me.
Well, we got things sorted out, which is nice. We get the game underway here.
In fairness to the referees, they don't want to throw anybody out of the game. They don't. As a referee, you already know what the consequences are.
Yeah.
And as an adult, you understand the consequences before the student athletes do. And I believe they don't want to throw anybody out of the game, but sometimes it's just out of their control. And you have to follow the rules, and so be it.
There must have been quite a bit of activity that, you know, we didn't see. We didn't see a lot of the activity that may have caused those flags to come out.
Yeah, I mean, earlier.
Lord, here they come.
I mean, earlier there was just more pushing and chirping, but that must have happened and been even worse.
Run on the play by number 15, Alex Castanova.
Again, flags come out. 2 flags.
Tackled by number
All these flags are starting to look like the Junior Rose Festival Parade.
Junior Rose. Flying around out there. Well, actually, you'd be able to have a Rose Festival 2021 at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in August or something. We'll see.
Have you ever been in a parade, Steve?
against Grant.
No. I've been in traffic before, though. It felt like I was in a parade.
First down.
And they'll mark off against the Generals there. It's first. And, hey, J-Mac, with your math, figure out how far that is. First and a long way. Keep it on the ground over the left side.
Seems like it's going to be about a 1st and 16. Seems
Okay.
like.
Run on the play by number 15.
Good thing you got in journalism.
Yeah.
Tackled by number 54.
So it'll be second down. They'll place the ball at the 12-yard line.
Okay, 12-yard. Yeah, it's that's going to be
We call
14. 14.
It's
Yeah,
a long
14.
way.
Yeah, it's a long way.
That's what I
14
would-
yards, pretty long way, man. But yeah,
Second down.
I'm not the best mathematician, but I try.
Keeper over the left side.
Wow. Really
Not much
thrown down
there.
there.
McLaughlin.
Number 3, Ethan McLaughlin on the
He'll be
carry.
stopped for a loss.
Tackled by number 2, Lamar Watkins.
Yeah, they're not even showing it up there on the board, but
Third down.
it seems like it's a 3rd and
I'm thinking almost 23, man.
26.
But can you trust that number? That's on the scoreboard. I don't know if you can trust numbers up there.
there we go. Now it's finally showing. Yeah, I guess 3rd and 26. Yeah, there we go.
Keeping it on the ground. No gain there. Good penetration there by the Democrats.
Alex Castanova is the ball carrier.
You know what? You could say basketball is my main specialty because my problem was I was reading the chains wrong there, so it was an extra 10 in addition. So 26, 4th and 26. What is this? Grant with the ball. Yeah, they're going to want to punt this one away. They are clearly in control here.
I completely agree. Unequivocally agree. Davis, not Davis. It's not going to be Davis. That's going to be Williams back for the Generals. He'll let it roll. That'll be down at the 40-yard line.
Run by number 9, Kellen Siegel.
Kellen Siegel,
42
the
yards.
quarterback, safety, and punter, you could say.
Busy
Pretty
guy.
good punter.
Busy guy.
Yep.
You know, this is Coach Lillard some people will just look at the score and they'll think that the Democrats are not very competitive, or they may think ill of the Democrats. But understanding you got a new coach, you didn't get a lot of time to prepare. You don't have a lot of guys that are coming back, and we can see the youth that they have on the line. It's just a tough time. It's a tough time to really be trying to build a program this year, and I believe that he's going to get headed in the right direction. It just takes some time. Football is not one of those things that you can get one player and make a big difference like you can in basketball. It's going to take some time to rebuild, and I believe that he's probably the right man for the job.
Run up the middle. That was Jeremiah Matthews on the carry. Picks up, we'll call it 5.
Russell on the ball carrier. Tackle by number 56, Jordan Baker. Second down.
Yeah, there's an injured player. Right now, this is the part of the game where you just pray that people just be able to get through the game without any major injuries. And the game is pretty much in control. And you just want to finish it out without not getting anyone hurt.
And he's up, and he'll make his way off the field. So clearly Grant will go 3-2 on the season, and the Jefferson Democrats drop to 2-3. If I'm not mistaken, is it Franklin kind of leading the division?
Yes, Franklin is 4-1 right now. They are the best team in PIL with a new coach, Jesse Thompson. Before that, Coach Wes Warren. Now they have a new coach, and he has done a great job so far leading them to be 4-1. They're playing Glencoe next week.
Nice strong run there. Out to the 35-yard line goes Jameson.
Jack, where did you attend high school? Are you from?
Franklin High School. I graduated from Franklin last year, actually. Yep.
Okay. You know, something made me, the way you were saying that, or the way you were pronouncing that Franklin was the #1 team in the league, it just had a little tone that made me say, I wonder where he went to school. And
maybe a little bit of a homer on that.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, hey, stick your chest out. Franklin has done a wonderful job.
Jameson again down the sidelines. He'll get pushed out of bounds.
Yeah,
getting the first down all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, definitely. Franklin has done a great job this season, and you know, last season they were 1-8. 1-8, and the year before that they were 1-8 also. So after those first 2 wins, they equaled their last 2 seasons worth of wins. And they, you know, yesterday were undefeated, but today they lost to Loa 20-40. So Franklin's still at the top of that leaderboard, 4-1, but Jesse Thompson has the right mentality for this team.
And a shout out to the principal, Chris Frazier, is doing a great job here as far as just building a culture of a great school.
Yeah, Mr. Frazier's a great guy. Great guy.
Jameson down to the 12.
Tackle by number 17 on Grant.
They fake the fly sweep. Fair will go up the middle, driving his feet. Everyone's trying to push him into the end zone. They'll call the play dead at the 2-yard line.
Yeah,
Nice effort there.
Yeah, just short of the end zone there. Fair trying his best to keep pushing through, as you know, his teammates were right there behind him, but he's just short. But unfortunately for the Demos, too little too late, as there's only a minute left in this game. But you know, like you were saying earlier, James, the Generals really had to bounce back here, and they showed that today because they lost to Central Catholic last weekend. But you know, they came out strong today, came out hot.
Yeah, and you're right. You bring up a great point, J-Mac. You know, they came off a loss to Central. They made the adjustments necessary, and they really came out and dominated. You know, a good Democrat team. The records were even coming in.
Right, yeah, these are two of the best teams in PIL. The Demos and the Generals are two experienced and well-coached teams. And coming into this game, it was really anybody's ball game, but you know, the Generals came out striking, came out hot from the start.
And Jefferson never really got Demir Collins going, and I don't, that's one of the things that we may want to have to find out a little bit more about. But this Jamison
into the end zone.
Has been running really well.
Carrying the load here in the final drive for the Democrats.
Yep, 41-12. As they're going to attempt the PAT pretty soon.
Looks like they may go for 2.
Talking it over. Remember, this is an Oregon Sports Beat presentation. Want to thank Julie, who's on the camera tonight. And of course, Ellery here, producing the program for us.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
I want to give a big shout out to my guy Ryan Johnson for putting this thing together and allowing me the opportunity to call this rivalry.
Definitely, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Johnson, man, giving me this opportunity, and thanks to you guys for allowing me to step in.
Oh, nice placement there, a little bit high, and the 2-point attempt falls incomplete. It's nice to see kind of, you know, both teams kind of huddling up there and saying, hey, good game there in the corner of the end zone.
You know what I'm the most frustrated about?
Let me get my pen out. There's probably a list.
It was getting chilly, and I walked to the car, all the way up to the car to get my jacket.
And you
didn't even need to put it on. That's a lot of steps that I wasted.
That's right. You're going to want those back at some point.
Right, like right now. Can I get a piggyback ride to the car on the way back?
Yeah, J-Mac said he would.
Oh, the rookie.
Yeah.
The rookie, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna make the 19-year-old carry the load.
Teams kind of getting ready to take the field, and I thought as it might be a running clock even after the kick. This might be the last play of the game.
Yeah, looks like it, as they are probably just going to take a knee once they get this ball, as you know, it's a 39-point lead as there's only 17 seconds remaining. That's going to do it pretty soon.
They're not taking a knee. If
Yeah,
number
Mixer's gonna
15
go.
gets the ball back here,
He's
I think
running
it's
to the
past
house.
Yeah, he's trying to take it to the house. I've watched him before. He wants to.
As
they're not going to give
nah,
him
they're not even going to give him the chance. They're kicking that one out of bounds.
Smart.
That was like a line drive out of bounds. If you weren't paying attention on that sideline, you could have taken a football to the forehead.
Big hit to the face, man. Yeah, that could happen. Yeah. They're going to be taking a knee here anyways, most likely, just to run out the clock and end it.
Well, there's going to be quite a few opportunities for some of these general players to watch this broadcast and see some of the highlights. A couple turnovers in the second half. Some big plays on that third and forever poster out that came in, and really the diving catch. I mean, there's a lot of good things that happened for the Grant Generals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Generals, you're loving what you have done tonight, as they offensively had a brilliant performance, and putting 41 points on the board against a great Democrats team, that's hard to do. The Democrats are a great team.
Yeah,
this will be it. This will be it for us from Franklin High School. I want to thank Oregon Sports Week for having us. J-Mac coming. Glad to have you. And James Broadous, always a pleasure to work with you. From Franklin High School, this is Steve Acton saying goodnight.